Hello, welcome back to the ECAC Overwatch 2 broadcast. Tonight we have another Grand Finals Best of 7 Overwatch match, and I am joined by my fellow caster Althea and our observer Beldia. How do you think the match is going to go tonight, Althea?
I think it's going.
How
I
are we
think it's going
looking?
to go pretty well. We got
Mm-hmm.
some interesting teams here. Looking at the left here on blue, we got UC, University of the Cumberlands, out of Williamsburg, Kentucky. They're on a current record of 9-0, so they do have the chance to go 10-0 for the Grand Finals championship here. And on the right in red, we got ODU, or Old Dominion University of Norfolk, Virginia. Their current record is 7-1. So they're looking slightly behind in favor of UC, but we'll see how they play here. Looking at the picks immediately, we're going to see some interesting ones. We're going to see the Widow from Miss Butter, and then as
Mm-hmm.
well as a Venture from Soup.
Yeah, really interesting team picks here. Not the traditional team that we normally see. In a different division, gonna hopefully have these guys bring us some new picks. We see Wet
I mean,
Soup cracking things off with that first pick onto Mist Viper. Venture already getting some value. Adelot and Salty helping ODU clean up this fight. Gonna start that cap as well. Pretty clean fight for ODU there.
yeah, I mean, that was really quick. ODU, I mean, they swept around the side, and then from there, they just kind of divided the tank, really ignored Cryo, and just went for the DPS and everything, and it worked out for them, but we're going to see Patriots making a little more space here.
Yeah, we had a Miss Viper swap to that Sojourn now. Gonna put a little bit more pressure than the Widow possibly. Salty finding that first pick though onto that Sojourn. Falling low now. UC has to back up just a little bit. Coming right back in with that Terra Surge, unable to find anything from Cryo there. You see Wet Soup harassing some of that DPS supports in the back line, but does get stopped. A couple ults now building up for the side of ODU. UC Patriots about to return with some of their support ults. Rampage and Rally. Rally and the Juno ult on the side of Patriots. Both ways now. What do you think's this making these fights last so long? Are these?
I mean,
supports
we
just
saw
going
we saw all
50%?
4 support ults dropped. We saw the both tank ults come out as well, and I think right here it's kind of winding down where there's not much left to work with. We're seeing the side of UC supports falling, or not even. Juno's just pretty far out of it there, and that's gonna let ODU find Cryo. And I mean, the point's going to be at 90% now with not much of the team up. They're going to have to make a big effort, but we do see Mecha on the side there, likely for the touch with the blade.
Yeah, gonna have to do it right at that 99. Popping that blade now. Mecha able to catch Index, but ODU finds picks in the Patriots backline.
They do flip the
Patriots.
point though. And they're going to have...
Yeah, crucial flip.
They're going to have some pressure up, but ODU still has a couple members alive. That's another
Yeah, and with
support
Wet
down
Soup-
from Patriots.
Wet Soup finding both supports there, doing crazy work on the Venture. Falling though to Miss Viper. Gonna get pushed off that point. Trying to contest now against ODU at 99%. Just a couple members left alive though, and Patriots
Yeah.
will flip this point back.
X-Blast is going to get caught out there. The Maywall's not going to be able to help him, but we're going to see ODU just regroup here. They're not going to feed too much here. Just really regroup, wait for X-Blast to come back, and then looking at the ults, I mean, they're going to have the Junker Queen ult to work with, and Patriots doesn't have anything to respond with yet. So I'm gonna lean this next fight in favor of ODU, and we'll see how it goes. Playing
Yeah,
some
we
poke in the
see,
back on the Sojourn.
I was about to say that the Mist Viper on the back, using that Sojourn, getting those shots down,
Oh,
putting that fire onto ODU.
we see Adelot's Rampage actually get completely counteracted by X-Blast's wall there, which is very unfortunate, but the fight is still going in their way as they find two. Answers with a Juno ult.
Ooh, Rampage from Cryo with the sound barrier from Index, though, to really help ODU there. Gonna swing the point back, and it looks like Patriots might not be able to touch.
Yeah, they used
Really
the,
hard fought there.
used the rally there just to barely get back, but I mean, yeah, we saw the Patriots do a decent hold with that. I think once they were able to get that point and get the positioning back, they were able to hold it for so long, especially because of they have the Sojourn in the back just putting on the pressure, while you have the Junker Queen Brig Lucio just playing really aggressive up front. And then, I mean, Wet Soup was doing a pretty good job, though, on the Venture, disrupting that back line, which I think was a major part in why they took that. We also saw some good ults come from each team there. It was unfortunate to see Adelot get blocked by X-Blast's Ice Bay Wall, but you're going to see a couple swaps. You're going to see Cryo actually on the Winston, as well as the Tracer, hopefully going for a more dive approach on this one. Probably going to try and target the supports. Battle for the high ground at the start here.
Yeah, I like how both teams tried to go right for that high ground. It seems like UC is going to take a bit more damage, though. Adelot getting 2 kills right out the start there. Really great stuff from ODU. Salty finding that Ana right in the back.
Yeah, I'm not sure how I feel about the Ana pick, especially where your team is playing dive. I mean, we see Cryo switch back over, and where ODU is playing so much brawl, it's going to be helpful if you can hit those antis, but where you saw Soup playing fairly aggressively in the back line, you're going to have to be careful on the Ana.
Yeah, we have Patriots with this Tracer comp as well. It's going to be a little bit harder, I feel, for this Tracer to get some value. But we do see ODU pushing into the back, getting aggressive with that Junker Queen and the speed boost from the Lucio.
Oh,
Really
and
just getting in their faces.
Salty just barely finds Mecha there, right at their spawn door. Unfortunate to see, but I mean, we're seeing ODU really put some pressure on here to UC, and UC's gonna have to either make some swaps, which is what we have seen. We see the Kiriko swap, as well as that Echo switch for more versatile. I mean, they don't necessarily have any hit scans. They're going to counter Echo too much.
This Viper with that Pulse Bomb, gonna catch the health pack, stay alive. Still waiting to use that. Wet Soup again, just in that back line, doing everything they can to just turn some heads, divert some of the damage from Patriots. As Adelot and Index come from the front and just sweep up everything. Really great stuff from ODU.
Yeah, I mean, they didn't have to commit much there either. They just used the Kutsune Rush for the aggression. The cleanse kind of saved them from Viper's Pulse Bomb as well. And we're going to have to hopefully see if Patriots can come back here, use these ults, but they're going into the Venture ult, they're going into the Rampage as well as the Beat. It's going to be hard. Especially where the supports just need to throw themselves at the point.
Yeah, 99% here. Gonna have to be a contest from Patriots. Ult's coming down. We did see that Echo swapping to the Mei. Oh, Cryo pulling Adelot into the hole, though. Only a few up for ODU and no tank. Will swing this point potentially in Patriots' favor.
Oh,
Not
the Cryo
quite.
Falls. The support's
doing work for ODU.
I mean, yeah, the supports
Doing
are
it
gonna
all.
get it done. You have,
Never
you have
count
the
them
Junker
out.
Queen and the Tracer losing the fight there, but I mean, shout out to Salty and Index there at the end there, being able to hold that point and get the map win on Helios in favor of ODU.
Yeah,
I think that
insane
was
stuff from Salty and Index there right at the end. Just battling the whole, it felt like the whole team for Patriots there. Really doing
yeah.
their team proud.
I mean, we saw ODU there have a really good show on that first map, and UC slipping a little bit. They did a decent
Mm,
hold in the second half of the first point, but we're gonna have to see if they can make some swaps. I think the issue UC is having is possibly their team play. I think they're very spread out. They try and have some people on the back line and some people in the front. The tank feels very disconnected from the DPS and the in in both ways, I guess, where it feels like just two fights going on at once, and ODU
mm.
is playing together, having both these fights, and I feel like UC just needs a little more coordination to make it work for them.
Yeah, I completely agree. We saw a couple fights there where it looked like Wet Soup was in the back on that venture, putting a ton of pressure on them. And as those heads were turned, healers diverted, Adelot and Index just pushed through everything with that Junker Queen speed, or from the Lucio. And it seemed to work just too well.
Yeah, and while
Uh,
UC could play a bit more together, that doesn't necessarily
mm,
mean just staying grouped up. I mean, they just giving a little more peel to the healers, maybe going like a Cassidy or something to just try and counter that venture. Just alleviate a little bit of the stress on the supports to really help Cryo stay alive could be very helpful. I do know the May is
absolutely.
very hard to play into. We didn't see too many crazy walls other than on Adelot, but the I'm sure on later maps, like if we go to Kings Row, which I believe is our next map, the May Wall will likely be something we will see again. Very strong on that
Absolutely.
map.
Yeah, the May we almost always see played on that map. The walls gain a lot of value, especially on that first point there.
And
Like
based
you
off
mentioned, the
positioning,
Cassidy. Mm,
I was just going to say, based off positioning, I do think that ODU was playing Brawl and playing up very well. Patriots were playing a bit back, which I think could have been a little bit of their issue there as well, where they're playing much more passive. So that could be maybe the reason, but we'll see how they play on the defense and the attack here. If they're going to play like up on the high ground in the back together, or possibly up by the choke, I think it'll once we see that, it'll really shape how we expect these teams to play.
absolutely. I feel like if maybe Patriots would have went something a little more brawl oriented and maybe have taken the fight to ODU, they could have turned out with better results there potentially. We're gonna see what they do here. I believe on that attack first is Patriots.
Yeah.
We should see
So
some hero picks soon here. But like you were touching on, a Cassidy from Patriots could definitely help in shutting down that venture pick. Just having that hinder grenade pretty much cancels the whole character pretty much.
I mean, making just some hard counter swaps against them is just, I mean,
Mm,
already that's going to lean it in your advantage. On defense, we're seeing the Bastion Reinhardt as well as the May that I was expecting from X Blast, and I mean, this is interesting. I don't think we've necessarily seen any Bastion picks this season, so seeing one at the what I believe now is the very last match. We've had quite a few last matches now at this point, but it'll be interesting to see. I think using the May wall as well as the shield. I think just if you catch anyone out, it's going to be hard to keep them up for UC's supports.
yeah, and the touch with ODU having that Baptiste as well. Gonna try to keep everyone alive, stop some dying. I'm really curious how this is gonna hold.
Now the May does
Cryo. Mm,
catch one, does catch the tank, but they're going to keep them up pretty well.
yeah, unable to find anything just yet. Miss Viper getting a lot of that damage, ramping it up. Another Maywall from X Blast. Adelot now starting things off with a pick onto the brig. Both supports now down.
I mean,
for UC.
we see ODU doing a really good job with this hold, having that Reinhardt just taking all the damage, just walking up there, while Wet Soup is just laying down the fire is exactly what you want to see from them. And I mean, after this first point, they had a good hold. We're going to see some swaps from Patriots. The Lucio probably going to go for a much more aggressive dive comp, get the team through that Maywall choke, try not to get anyone isolated.
100%. That's exactly what it looks like we might have here. Actually, Patriots now on point, taking the fight to ODU.
The X-Blast is just caught out on point.
Comes out from Index in the back there. Wet Soup will gladly take that boost. Patriots now on the back foot. Actually, no, but back up and aggressing. Orbital
they're
Ray
gonna commit
from Salty comes out. Wet Soup trying to find any kills, unable to. Miss Viper finds the pick. You see Patriots swing this fight around completely and are now about to take this point, it seems.
And we saw ODU kind of get the advantage back. They killed Cryo, they had the advantage, but then we saw Index just get a little too aggressive, as well as Adelot and fall. And that was just giving it to the Patriots. So a little curious as to why that happened, but we're going to see if they're going to be able to learn from their mistakes here and just hold this second point. Try not to let Patriots through this choke. We have a shatter down here in a moment.
Yeah, Adelot with that shatter. Gonna have to put it to good use here. Starting to charge out, maybe hold this corner. Oh,
no
shatter finds nothing. Empty shatter from ODU will swing this fight, as well as some ults from the side of Patriots.
Especially when it's answered with a 3K from Viper with the assist of Adelot. I mean, that shatter is a tough loss, but it's going to allow a quick switch without too much penalty.
Very much so. Maybe just at the end there, trying to get it down just so they can swap to this Junker Queen, which we did see them have success on this on the first map. Definitely find that same success here. Mecha, though, with a Dragon Blade, will get stopped by Wet Soup. A Blizzard from X-Blast will stop the Patriots in their progress.
This Viper's getting some good picks, though. A lot of damage out on the Sojourn, but it's going to fall to the Adelot as they try and chase down TLS Midnight. Salty will find him. I've seen Salty doing a lot more DPS than most of the rest of the damage in this game. They're
finding a lot of those late picks, a lot of those stagger picks, really good stuff.
And we do see UC kind of hold their, get their positioning back, get their momentum back a little bit.
Adelot,
that is too much damage.
I believe that was all 5 members shooting Adelot right there in the moment.
Yes, definitely.
2 Kitsune rushes from either team. Patriots seem to have it just a little better with that tank falling early. And
yeah, we're seeing
Adelot.
Adelot.
Second checkpoint.
I've seen Adelot really struggle with the damage as well, being able to just stay alive. And something else I'm going to count that to is Miss Viper. It's honestly playing at what it feels like I don't even want to call it a flanking Sojourn. They're just running straight at them into the back line, not any kind of flank, just running at them and getting the picks.
It seems to be working. Not right now, though, as that Maywall comes through from X-Blast again.
Yeah, that was a
nice wall to section off a few members of the Patriots. ODU will find them.
Perfect disconnect there when it comes to the supports, just cutting them off. Very good job there. We're gonna see them come back really quick. They do have this close spawn. Spawn is kind of in favor of Patriots here. We're seeing, I believe that's Adelot, Cryo getting really aggressive. Oh, but Salty and Miss Viper both find one.
Yeah, and it seems ODU's a bit low here as Patriots are pushing with that rampage from Adelot and might hold them off. Picks from both sides. Index and Adelot find Cryo now. And ODU will hold off Patriots.
Yeah, they do.
That was a strong hold.
Yes, definitely. I mean, you see, it is a strong hold, but they're able to come right back. Midnight's gonna find Blaz, and I don't even know where the
I don't
Blizzard
believe the
went.
Blizzard
Did it get
came
canceled?
out. Might have been. It's Tsune Rush and the beat drop from Index and Salty. Patriots respond with that beat drop as well. Picks both ways. Miss Viper finding 2. Patriots up now in picks. Salty will fall. Coming back now out of spawn.
Yeah, I mean, they're having interesting plays here, just trying to stay up.
Tsune Rush on the side of the Patriots comes down. Mecha with the blade as well. Picked for the Patriots. Wet Soup does find one though. Battle right at the end. Patriots will push it with 50 seconds left on their clock.
Yeah, it's real hard for the teams here, especially when you have Miss Viper there just up on the high ground spraying down, while you also have Mecha just bouncing around you. With them just kind of, I mean, you have a bug just flying around you with the Genji and then just getting sprayed down by Miss Viper. It's really hard for ODU to handle.
Certainly was. But we do see 50 seconds left from that clock. Not a lot, not too much time. If ODU can take this first point a little fast and get that cart rolling, they might be able to match it or even do better.
Yeah, I mean, definitely 50 seconds isn't a whole lot. They did have some decent hold, but they lost their momentum a few points. Hopefully they're going to be able to kind of realize what made that happen, if it was just team discoordination or just swaps or ultimate usage. But I think that as these games will go on, I think these teams will kind of recognize each other a little more and adapt, which is going to be interesting to see. I mean, we see ODU starting on the Junker Queen, which I don't think we've seen yet. We've usually seen them swap to it off of another pick. And we're going to see Wet Soup as well on the Cassidy this time.
Mm-hmm.
Going to keep an Ana as well on attack. Hopefully we'll lean the fight in favor of ODU with the anti.
Yeah, brawl now happening right outside the point. ODU with that May wall sectioning off Cryo, but he does slip away. Seems like the Patriots are trying to put a little bit of pressure onto that back line of ODU. Now pushing back, Mecha does find one. Salty evens the score. Junker Team boxing on the point.
They had a good May wall down, but X-Blast will end up falling. And we're going to have to see ODU back up just a little bit now. But that may come back up. Let Soup actually swapping to the defender, like you said. Gonna try and focus that high ground, get Mist Viper off of it, because they know just how dangerous that they are on the Sojourn. Waiting for the team to get into a better position and then pressure this Sojourn.
Yep, here we go. Just getting them right off that high ground. Jumping a little high. Pushing back. ODU almost found Cryo, but Cryo switches it up and gets 2, I believe. Mecha did find Wet Soup in the back.
I do think Wet Soup was just a little late there, not turning enough heads quick enough. I mean, we saw right as Soup was pressuring Viper, they already got the pick onto Index, and from there, losing your Ana is crucial, especially against this team that, I mean, you just got to back up and regroup. A lot of ults now coming out.
Yeah, ults now from the side of ODU and Patriots. Couple picks both ways as well. A Dragon Blade from Mecha does get shot down by Adelot, finding 3 now. Seems as if ODU will now start capping this point. Minute 40 left. I'm not sure what the Patriots had on their attack left. And they were pushing it back. But a minute 30 is not too bad.
Yeah, it's going to leave them
We'll
with
have a
about
decent time bank.
4 minutes on the clock here.
Yeah, decent time bank to get this second cap now. As long as they keep this payload moving. Orbital Ray from Salty. Oh, Miss Viper does find Index though from that high ground with the Sojourn charge shot. But ODU will just keep pushing, get a few more picks. Send Patriots back to spawn.
I mean, those long spawns will hurt, not as much. I mean, Lucio and Kiriko have phenomenal movement. They're going to be able to get back fairly quick, but you're going to have to, for ODU, you're going to have somebody on payload just pushing it up, and the rest of the team just trying to make the space. At Kiriko, Lucio are going to get back pretty quick before you barely get through the choke. Looking at the ults here,
yeah,
I mean, we have a lot of it in favor. Great pick from Viper. You see Patriots with both their support ults.
Yeah, Miss Viper being a lot of these opening kills, doing a lot of work on the side of the Patriots here. These opening picks, just ODU being down one player was such a detriment.
Oh.
Index, though, now finding one, as ODU is fully grouped up, back together.
I mean, they were able to hold that. They had a decent pick on the Cryo, and from there they were able to play much more aggressively. And we're going to hopefully see Patriots make an attempt to hold this. They do have the beat, but Venture ult's going to be a lot to try and take it, and Adelot will fall.
Yeah, Tectonic Shock comes out, doesn't find anything really though. With the beat drop and the tank being down, ODU will be pushed back just shy of that second point. Did not cap that.
This is unfortunate, but they do have 2 minutes on the clock and a couple ults to work with, but that Blade and Rampage are going to be real hard to get value out of, especially if Index is able to build that beat. So I think Index is going to be a high priority target for this next fight, because I mean, that beat is really what's going to make or break it here. They do use the Blade before the beat, and they're going to find Salty. That's going to prevent the Orbital Ray coming out, as well as a possible Blizzard.
Yeah, it looks like it's just going to be a quick regroup from ODU. We saw Mecha hiding there, just posting up, waiting for his time. And then when it came out, pop that Dragon Blade, gets Salty, and that's just it for the push for ODU.
Yeah, I mean, we have seen him do that quite a few times now this game. He's pretty good with those blades, but they're going to have both Carnages up now and no beat in favor of Patriots, so they're going to have a hard defense here to hold this.
Orbital Ray and beat drop. Those support ults from the side of ODU. Going to be fighting into this. Salty finds Mecha. Adelot with the ult at the end there as well. Will send this fight ODU's way. They should have the second checkpoint now.
I mean, they did have to commit both support ults in order to survive that onslaught
and
from
the tank
Cryo,
ult.
but they did make it. They did have to, yeah, both Carnages. Going in this next one, though, they will have the Blizzard, but the Kitsune Rush to answer, as well as Mist Viper on the high ground with that overclock to see if X-Blast can try and pressure them off of it.
Yeah, we also saw Wet Soup up there trying to do some work with that Venture.
Blizzard's going to isolate Cryo.
Just a little bit. Yeah, but doesn't really find too much.
Going to get Tectonic Shock up in a moment here, but looking at the ults, it's really in favor of Patriots. They're going on, they're on 2, going on 3, but Viper will fall. Might not even be able to get it out. The Kitsune Rush is going to come out.
X-Blast finding Miss Viper early there to stop that Sojourn overclock was really nice. Now Miss Viper is back with that overclock. Gonna get pressured by the Venture. Wet Soup doing exactly what Adventure needs to do, putting pressure on the enemy backline. Really good stuff. Patriots, though, fighting back in a very
You look
strong
at Patriots'
way.
health, they're all on critical, just barely struggling to stay alive here. But Adelot's going to find two, and they're still going to hold the point.
Yeah. Not
Gonna
over
use
just
ult,
yet.
get Mecha.
With the ult, Adelot cleaning up now.
4K.
Looking for more. Index and Adelot doing great work, but gets booped. Can't kill him with the guns, gotta put him in the hole. That's one way to send Adelot back to spawn. Midnight finding two to save the game potentially for Patriots.
20 seconds left on the clock. ODU really needs to group up here, push back into their spawn with Soup dying. I don't even know if they can get somebody to touch with 10 seconds on the clock. They'll have the orbital ray and the beat. They just need to get alive. I mean, Patriots won't have much to answer to that, but they have 6 seconds to get to the point. They do have the Tracer. They are going to get the touch.
They will get the contest. Adelot finding that first kill onto Cryo with Salty's orbital ray. Gonna save the beat from Index just for right now. Don't want to use it just yet. You don't need to, don't use it. Picks coming from ODU now. A lot of picks. The ball swap from Cryo. Put him in the spin cycle.
We're gonna see that Blizzard up soon from X-Blast, which is gonna make it real hard to contest. He's staying up though.
Wet Soup, Pulse Bomb from Miss Viper. Oh, the Blizzard.
Yeah, that's gonna be the game ender.
Should be able to secure everything.
And that'll be it.
ODU running out the clock though. A minute to a minute 50. That was something though.
That was something else. I'm gonna put that last fight on there. I'm gonna put that on Adelot. We saw a very, I believe it was a 2v5 or something on point, getting 4 or 5 picks. Crazy plays from the Junker Queen, and you can see the lifesteal really coming in clutch at the end there. So going into a now second or third round, I believe ODU is on attack still. They're gonna have to just do that again.
Yeah.
Patriots are gonna have to. I guess do it again too. They did a decent job on defense. I think they
did.
Only capped with about a minute and a half on the clock. So
yeah, it wasn't too much time left. But ODU did see what eventually did work at the end there. Maybe they're gonna try to just replicate it quicker this time. Get that point hopefully a little faster.
That's true, but this first point is much different. This camera angle is I mean, he's definitely giving us a show here. Man, I'm sorry, I'm just at a loss for words. Yeah.
That was something.
Hopefully we can see ODU put a lot more pressure on the high ground early, much faster than last time. And I think if they do that, it'll lean the fight in their favor. We're gonna see Index actually up there doing it, as well as Wet Soup following up. But can they do it before the rest of the team actually falls is the question. Index is going to find Viper.
Ooh, there we go. A tank and a DPS fall for Patriots. ODU's just going to push that backline now. That was perfectly played from them.
Yeah, I mean, that was instant. Index just instantly wiping Mist was pretty good. Definitely what you want. They don't really need to touch here. You don't get any time. You don't get any extra added time in Overwatch or in overtime. So ODU, all they have to do is just keep the payload moving. Patriots just needs to win basically one fight to take them off of the game.
Yep. No extra time, but their ults are really low yet and didn't really have a time to build up anything.
I mean, it's going to be in favor of
definitely
ODU.
In favor.
Gonna keep that momentum rolling with that, and I mean, unless they can get a good pick here, probably gonna stay in that way in favor of ODU.
Junker Queen getting the ult and letting it rip right away. 2 picks now for ODU. Debating whether or not they want to use the ult that they have to try to stop them here. Deciding to just hold them instead. Gonna make this next contest way stronger for Patriots, but give ODU so much more space.
It's going to be
With 3
really
on the
hard.
card,
I
look how
mean,
much they're getting.
all Patriots has to work with here is the Kitsune Rush and the Rampage. The Rampage, again, is going to be really hard to use into that beat, as well as the Blizzard and the Juno ult, the Orbital Ray. I don't know, I still think this might be in favor of ODU. It just comes down to who gets what picks and who makes what happen first.
The order of the ultimates here. Blizzard does come out. Beat drop.
It doesn't matter when everything's all at the same time.
Salty using the Orbital Ray against the Kiriko Patriots. Kitsune Rush. Pick now falling everywhere. Mecha finding 2 with that Dragon Blade. Adelot still alive. Salty falls. Blast falls. Adelot falls. And ODU's push will be cut short.
Yeah, I mean,
94
I believe that was
now.
eight ultimates later, and we did get a stop to ODU's push here. So we're gonna see it swap over to Patriots. They're gonna have to do the same thing on attack with even with more time. Actually, I believe they have an extra 50 seconds on the clock. Not gonna matter much once you get through that first point if you do, because usually at that point it will be overtime. But I guess we'll see. I think the best thing that we can see Patriots do here is probably get ODU to kind of stall the first point just a little bit and then cap it right as they're executing them, so then they get the real long spawn on the last point, and then from there they're going to likely be able to get the point around that first choke, which is going to make it a little harder for ODU to hold on the defense if Patriots want to win this.
I'm more of a basketball person. Not a fan of your
Absolutely, and at the end there,
words in my mouth.
we saw Patriots really stack up everything and just throw everything at ODU. And I truly do believe with 1:50 on the clock, if this first push doesn't turn out well, that is exactly what they're going to try to do. Is just build up a couple of those ultimates and then just dump them all on point. Get that push going now.
For sure, that's how it works in overtime. It's just who can get the better ultimates going first, and can you make it work? Because I mean, from there, if you use them and then it doesn't work out, you know your enemies get much very soon, and from there you're in for a heap of trouble. Hopefully, we can see Patriots make this swift and clean, just clean them out. But they're having a hard time making the space.
Yeah, not looking like ODU's push at all. Definitely a bit more spread out, not as far in. Now on the point is Patriots. You see ODU kind of playing in that hotel, getting healed up. Now fighting back, just shy of a second tick. Miss Viper though, finding that first pick is so crucial.
Yeah, and it's going to be just like I said, where Patriots are going to try and stall out this point with the fight, stall out the fight, hold it for as long as possible. And now that's going to force Adelot to take a really long respawn, and is going to allow Patriots to get through that first choke, which would have been otherwise really hard to push into against that Mei. So I think this next fight is definitely going to go in favor of Patriots again, where they do have all these ults, but I think they're going to want to have to do their very best to hold them. I think they're going to need them for responses from ODU.
Yeah, or if they want to use some, which ones to use, which ones to conserve, because they know the fight after this, if not this fight, ODU is going to use some of their ults. Actually, Salty cracking this off right away with that Juno Orbital Ray. Index finding Ann in the back. Picks for ODU.
5 seconds on the clock.
Yeah, with such a short
team kill
time left, ODU will just take the fight to them before the time's even there.
And I believe
just
all
sweep
it was,
them up.
I believe all it was Salty's Juno ult with the Orbital Ray.
Yeah.
The damage was just enough to put enough
We
pressure.
might see it right here.
Cut him off. Yeah, we see Salty at the end here. It is right here, very end.
There
we
we
see
go.
the Juno ult come out. Little DPS healer action.
There we
Chasing
go.
down Mecha.
Getting that Genji. Yeah, on the back of the Orbital Ray, ODU just runs right at Patriots. Before I don't know if they had any ults up. or if they were just trying to back up and let them burn out the orbital ray. But great work from ODU there. Should be getting into this third game pretty soon. I believe ODU is now up 2-0. I believe is the score we have. Okay. Indeed. I would put that game, probably the MVP for that game might go to Adelot for me. Did really good work on the side of ODU. We did have some technical issues with Althea, and he will be getting back in call in just a second. But on the side of Patriots, we saw Miss Viper, as I touched on earlier that game, doing really good getting those opening frags. Really great work. Putting ODU down 4v5 at the start of the fight is really crucial for them. And it seems like Patriots just aren't swinging as many fights as they can swing off that man advantage. But we will see what they can do about that on Esperanza, which is arguably... The picks are really valuable in push, I feel, because you have to walk back very far sometimes just to get back to that point. So if we see Miss Viper getting those, just a pick or two right in the beginning on maybe one of the slower supports or the DPS, it'll take them a long time to come back, giving Patriots just a wide open door to 4v5, just outman ODU.
Yeah, and I do think we have seen ODU with the much more aggressive play style, and I think in push that's really going to favor them, where you do need to play much more aggressively, as well as the ult economy. I say this every week. The ult economy is like one of the more important things in push, where you need to win back-to-back fights, especially if you're on the back end of whoever's winning. So I do think that ODU will maybe have the advantage here, unless UC is able to make some swaps or changes to the way they play.
100%, and we can see what they'll be going in just a minute to see if they will make any of those swaps. But it wouldn't surprise me if ODU is just going to stick on that Junker Queen. It seemed like Adelot was doing really great work with it, and seems really comfortable on the pick.
Yeah, it was
and then
working
Index
real
and
well
Salty on that Kiriko Lucio, I believe. Yep, there we go. Just the exact same pick. We do see Mist Viper on the Ashe this time instead now, though.
Yeah, we've seen similar
maybe
comps, but I mean, I don't want to say anything till they're out of the spawn doors, but
yeah,
Mecha on the Reaper
they're debating it.
Is a little interesting. I think it's going to put a lot more pressure on Adelot, which looks like that's going to be the commitment. You see the mirror match supports the Lucio Kiriko. Kiriko's almost a must pick, especially against the Junker Queen ult. Just a complete hard counter with that Suzu.
Yeah, I'm curious to see what kind of value Wet Soup can get here. We saw them in other games doing a lot of that backline work, but right there we see that backline's now fortified with an Ashe. Miss Viper gonna find that first pick again. Like I said, really crucial stuff from Miss Viper going down.
Yeah, I do think
that first fight.
Patriots are doing a really good job on the offensive here, but I think it's just the ODU is better when it comes to the ultimate usage, which is kind of what's really swinging the fight. Is Patriots may be able to win a fight or two off the start, win the initiation, but ODU is able to then snap back much harder and put Patriots in a much harder position to come back from.
Yeah, ODU's gonna have to do something here. Especially, like I said, with this high ground pretty fortified now. They're just going to speed boost, run at them. That's one way to do it. Stops the forward spawn as well. Adelot getting pressured by Mecha, now having to back up. does fall to Wet Soup, who made the swap to Cassidy. Did not catch that one. Yeah, I didn't think the Venture was going to be as easy of a pick on this map as Wet Soup was finding on other maps.
I mean, we're seeing a Lucio Junker Queen 1v1 here, and Cryo is going to use the Rampage, trying to finish out a lot.
Index did find Midnight. Salty
Yeah,
finds Cryo.
With your support gone, Cryo is going to fall, and now you're going in this next fight, and you committed your Rampage just to hold that point just a little bit longer. Maybe not something you not necessarily worth it there, but looking at this next fight, we're going to have Midnight and Index coming up with the beat, as well as Kitsune, both Kitsune Rushes coming online, a Blizzard and a Bob coming up, a lot of ults building here. What are you having almost every single one of theirs?
Yeah, I believe this next fight's going to be a pretty colorful one. We have the Kitsune Rush coming down. Adelot finding Cryo early might stop a lot of the ults coming in from Patriots.
I mean, that's exactly
And
what
any
you want.
more from being committed.
One perfect support ult at the very start to swing the fight, and you don't need to commit any more to that. You didn't necessarily get any out of Patriots, but you're getting that forward spawn, and that's perfect. That's what you want for ODU.
Yeah, forward spawn, you're taking the lead, and now you've got your ult for this next fight as Cryo is still trying to build that deficit from when they used it to save that point. Speedy Cassidy running all the way at Cryo now. Beat drop from Midnight. Gonna get headshot now, getting caught in that blizzard. Wet Soup with a few picks. The peel from Index will help Salty. We see ODU everywhere they need to be right now.
Very back and forth picks from both teams here. But
Both
ODU is
sides
going to have
going
their tank up.
unwatched.
So I do think that tank pressure is going to allow them to keep pushing, but Patriots are going to regroup much quicker. They're much closer to their spawn, so we're going to see Patriots fall back just a little bit here until their
And
team
Adelot
is up.
didn't use the Rampage, and now Cryo does have theirs built. The Kitsune Rush comes, or the Kitsune Rush does come down now. The Cleanse from Salty came out, opening the door for Cryo, but I didn't know if Cryo saw it or not. Deciding to hold his Rampage. Mecha with the Death Blossom looking for an opening though.
I believe we have
Rush
Wet
from
Soup as well
Salty
on
now.
the flank. Just kind of having a firing range.
There we see Cryo finally use that Rampage, but possibly too late, as ODU has already cleaned up most of the other members of the Patriots.
Yeah, I mean, I do think that I think we did see in the last map a Junker Queen 2v4, 2v5, but we're not seeing it this time. See Cryo just attempt that where the cure goes up, as well as both supports. It's going to be a real struggle to try and get that value. And now you're going to go into this next fight at the disadvantage because of that.
Yeah, we see Adelot still holding on to his Rampage. Not yet finding that opportunity to use it. There it is. As the cleanse is down, we'll find Miss Viper. Beat drop from Index. Gonna help keep ODU alive as they find the picks now and keep that bot pushing.
Yeah, that's going to be Patriots falling as ODU tries to just get back to this point. They're going to have the Maywall to hopefully delay the
Maywall,
spawn.
yeah.
Going to block the Bob off, but you're going to see Adelot also get kind of separated, and from there the team just needs to fall back as they slowly get picked by Miss Viper on the Ash. We do see Patriots make a hold there with just the Bob. Good pick on Adelot, which is going to give them the pressure to push back. But unfortunately, I don't think they're going to be able to necessarily reset ODU's forward spawn. They're going to have a hard time keeping this going. We'll have a lot of ults though. We'll see how they're able to kind of manage that and their ultimate inventory and economy to swing it back in their favor.
Yeah, Wet Soup using that tactical visor on that high ground. Unable to find anything. Actually going in maybe a little too far and dying for it. Beat drop to counteract the Kiriko ult from Salty. Patriots finding the picks.
They're gonna win that fight just off of the back of Midnight's beat, and that was pretty good. Quite a few good
Yeah.
picks, as well as where ODU committed the Kitsune Rush and the Visor to that, and still lost. That's definitely what you want from Patriots. That's definitely gonna be a positive gain from them, and hopefully they're able to capture this forward spawn and keep it going. But we're seeing Adelot immediately taking this high ground. And that's definitely gonna slow down the Patriots.
And we should see them win this next fight at least. The ultimate economy is so much in their favor now. The Wet Soup just doing what they do best, finding another pick. Kitsune Rush comes out from and Patriots trying to find anything off the back of it. This Viper looking for some picks. We do have that Rampage from Cryo, but Index finding this Viper.
Index is doing a phenomenal job in the back line. Yeah, he's doing a. I mean, Miss Viper's gonna see Index in his dreams. That Lucio is just putting a lot of pressure on him.
That Lucio is haunting the Patriots right now. Index just everywhere apparently.
You're gonna make the Ana swap off the Kiriko, which is gonna be really unfortunate for this next fight, where you're fighting into the Adelot Rampage with no cleanse to handle it or beat.
Yeah,
and we're gonna
true.
see X-Blast fall.
Just get bobbed straight up. Index again finding Miss Viper in the back. Really identifying that threat. Just shutting it down. ODU taking the picks.
Can we get an Index kill count on Moist Viper? Because I think that they're really not to make any call-outs, but they're having a rough time against this Lucio. Index is just definitely a threat here, playing the DPS.
Index going above and beyond the support role and even getting some picks. With that Blizzard and the Kitsune Rush, ODU's going to have to do what they can because Mecha's going to use that blade to find Wet Soup. X-Blast falls as well. Adelot, though, still alive and well.
It's a 3v2
in that frontline boxing. Salty with, I think, a 3K to end the round.
Yeah, I mean, that's going to be ODU's win.
Tracer recall, and it maybe didn't count? I'm not sure.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, we definitely saw...
There we see Index.
We definitely saw the Tracer on the point, but it looks like it will be a cap. We're going to see Miss Viper just get run down.
Yeah.
Like, just a drive-by.
And the Lucio pick. Great stuff. And he's out, pushing the bot again. Just like nothing.
Yep. Great movement, great plays.
And I'll keep the bot rolling. Yeah, great movement from Index there. Really good stuff.
I think that, yeah, I mean, playing in the back there, Viper, we saw at the very start that Viper was a threat on the King's Row on the Sojourn. Index said, hey, listen, you guys are doing a good job taking care of the Junker Queen and everything. Usually it's the DPS's job to get in the back, but not here. This is Overwatch. The supports are the ones doing the damage, so...
yeah, I'm more than capable.
And getting up there. I believe...
Yeah, ODU really showing out tonight.
Yeah,
for this grand finals match.
Next map is going to be Suravasa.
Is this series point now? Is ODU up 3-0?
I believe they are 3-0. I don't entirely remember who won first point. I think it was ODU.
ODU. Yeah, I believe so. Then this is a potential series point right here. If ODU do take this, they will become your champions in, pun intended, a grand style, a grand fashion.
Yeah, and it's kind of surprising to see as well. I mean, I did kind of put the game in favor of UC here, who is 9-0, but they must not have faced ODU because ODU 7-1. They have lost a game. They've tasted a defeat, and they said we've had enough of that.
We don't like that.
Yeah, we don't like the taste of that. We're not ordering another dish. So they're coming here to the grand finals, 5-star restaurant, and they're ordering victory.
Certainly are. As we will see what they're right back to that Junker Queen.
I think it's
Now,
gonna
if
be very
Wetsuit
similar.
pulls out the Torb here,
I do, I do
I
think Viper.
I don't even know.
I do think
I give
Viper's a
5
little
subs.
tired of being dove on the Sojourn and the Ash, so we're gonna see them playing switch into the dive. So that does make sense.
Yeah, that would make a little bit of sense. It's looking like that's exactly what's going to happen. See on the side of Patriots, Cryo being the team player, getting that sim teleporter down.
Now, I am quickly looking at the history. These two teams did face off on Halloween, and UC did win that game. So, Varsity's, I believe, only loss, ODU's only loss was against the Cumberlands. Yeah, the Patriots, and they said we're done with that.
Wow.
They're here to play. So that does add a little bit of lore to the game.
With that opening kill, no, that adds a lot of lore to the game. This means vengeance. ODU's back for blood as Adelot goes swinging into a pile of them. Helps secure the point now for ODU.
Like I said on Kings Row, the more these teams play, the more they're gonna know each other and how they play and play around it. But I guess I was wrong. These guys are well acquainted, and I'm sure Patriots maybe came into this thinking, you know what, we beat them once, we can do it again. But ODU's been training their whole season. They said you took our loss. We're not gonna let that happen again. So that really shows how they're feeling this game.
Locked in, if you will.
Yeah,
ODU. Patriots seem to have locked in themselves, though, as they pick up a few kills. Now storming point back. Stopping ODU just shy of 70%.
Yeah, they do trade pretty late into the point, though, but Flashpoint does go pretty quick. We're gonna... we are seeing Miss Viper do a little more work on the Tracer here, which is pretty nice to see. We're also seeing the Brig switch, Brig Juno, different, much different support that we have seen throughout the season compared to the Lucio Kiriko. Blizzard, a lot of
the Blizzard and the Kitsune from the side of ODU. Yeah, with the tank falling for Patriots, and Index finding the Tracer with the help of Salty. ODU will swing the point back.
I guess Sojourn, Ash, or even Tracer, you just can't escape the Lucio. We're gonna see if we can get a touch here.
Index is gonna find you. Yeah, it's looking like we do have a touch. Was it Mecha with the Dragon Blade? I'm not sure. On the point now, though. Picks going both ways. Cryo falls the Index. Same with Ann. The supports for the side of ODU getting 4 of the 5.
I want to say I'm seeing more picks from Salty and Index than every other player combined. I mean, like, anytime I look up in the top right there, I'm seeing one of their names. If it's not even their name, just they're getting some kind of assist. Great support plays from ODU here. Gonna play in on the side here, going to this next fight, playing really close with this Junker Queen. Gonna have the Orbital Ray come out.
Yeah, Orbital Ray from Midnight is gonna send Patriots spilling into ODU's backline, looking for picks. Ann and Cryo are finding them. Patriots will start potentially. I don't want to count Index out yet until he's dead and in the spawn room. Now Patriots will be able to start capping this point.
Yeah, we're seeing Midnight's Orbital Ray there was just enough damage to really sweep, get Cryo killed, get Adelot killed and Salty, and just execute there. We're gonna see if they're gonna be able to hold it here. They're gonna have the Pulse Bomb and the Rally, two very good offense and defensive ultimates. The Kitsune Rush building with Salty here in a moment.
Oh, X-Blast finding Mecha. Great opening. Index getting Pulse Bombed, though. That's one way to deal with him. ODU finding some kills, but the rally from Ann gonna help Patriots big time. Hold off ODU. Meanwhile, this point is still charging up, 75 and charging now for Patriots, 80%. Gonna have one more fight from ODU.
Yeah,
The Patriots will just take this one.
we'll see if they touch. I think they will get it. Index does get it, but there's a rampage coming out. And there is no beat to answer.
None at all. There it is from Cryo. Gonna start chipping away at the members of ODU. Leaving just 3 alive though. They're finding picks. The beat comes late, but it's still there. Helping ODU. The picks come through from Index. One more. Adelot will take it, and ODU will take the point.
Yeah,
Barely stopping Patriots.
Took a lot of effort from ODU there. I mean, Patriots just used the rampage. ODU had to answer with both support ults and a DPS ult in order to retake it. That's not what you want. You're gonna go into this next fight and not have too much to work with again, though. That Blizzard and Rampage are gonna be real tough, but they are gonna hopefully build this Orbital Ray from Midnight. As well as the Blade, we have seen some really good blades from Mecha.
Yeah, we do have Adelot in the back, finding Cryo. This could be Patriots' whole push scrapped now that the tank is gone. A couple more picks will send Patriots back to the spawn. Potentially to deliberate one more time before ODU will take this point.
Yeah, I mean, going to 80% here, they should be able to get the touch. Again, the Blade, they're going to use the Rampage.
An early Rampage onto Cryo. Doesn't even find him. Being kept alive, Midnight and Mecha.
But can they even touch?
Finding the picks. Oh, they do
do
get touch.
Very, very close there.
Wow.
But Index
That
is
was
he's
kind
still
of
here.
Yeah, unfortunately unable to
point.
keep contesting. Was there. It seemed like a valiant, like, heroic ult dump there from ODU, but Patriots just kind of pulled back. I don't think everyone got hit. So they just got up there and then just stormed them off.
Yeah, I mean,
Killed
you saw
everyone.
I think Cryo got hit by the Rampage, but didn't
And that was
die,
it, I
barely
believe.
stayed alive, and Midnight was able to use the Orbital Ray to keep him up. And from there, the Orbital Ray damage is just too much to handle from ODU. So they're going to be able to fall, but regroup real quick into this next fight with the ult advantage, because they're not too worried. The game is still evenly matched here. High game.
Absolutely. The Rampage from Cryo, though, will do a lot more damage to ODU. As Patriots will find the picks and start capping this third point.
Yeah, we're not seeing too many cleanses from Salty. I did see earlier during one of the rampages, Salty did use the cleanse but lost it, like died right as it went down. And I mean, where that's the hard counter, the Junker Queen ult, not being able to get them down is real tough. I don't know if that's just the misplays from Salty or Cryo doing a real good job of looking out for that ability, but I do know
Sune
that
rush.
Cryo's getting some good ult
From
sound.
Salty. Gonna push ODU onto the point. Adelot finds a pick. Cryo answers with one as well. 2 picks both sides now. And a real brawl on point. Adelot finds one with the beat drop from Index. Still gonna be boxing on point. Cryo not dead yet. Adelot with the pulse bomb I believe we saw from Miss Viper. Not securing anything. ODU will take the point.
Yeah, I mean, they were able to flip that. Index did have to commit the beat in order to keep Adelot alive, but it worked out. They got the point. However, going to this next one, they're going to have the Orbital Ray, the Blade, and the Rampage with no beat to answer. That's the hard counter that you're going to be looking for, and you're not going to have it. So because of that, we're hopefully going to see Salty. But we're going to see
Cryo
Soup with
got
the 3!
shredded. Soup potentially with a game-saving play there, killing Cryo before that Rampage was able to get off.
I mean,
and then
Caster's
finding
curse.
2 more.
I'm just gonna eat my words. I said that cryo was gonna have a real easy time with that ult, and not much for an answer from ODU. But I did not account for Soup just one-shotting 3 members of the team with the overclock there. So very good picks from Soup. However, ult-wise, ODU has nothing.
Hell
right
yeah,
now
Wet
to
Soup
work with.
potentially just saving ODU. Now in charge. Higher percentage. A couple picks for Patriots, though.
And they're just gonna flip
Send
point.
ODU off the point. ODU will have to touch right away, though. Or Patriots will just take this. With Salty falling, support for each team. Patriots have the picks. Adelot falling. I believe Patriots will take this 3rd point. Just now needing 1 more point to win this map. Patriots really showing a sign of life now.
Yeah, Patriots really fighting back here. We're seeing, I think Viper's taking 1 too many deaths to Index. Is real tired of it here. And we're seeing him really clap back. Playing real aggressive. Getting better with the ult usage. I think it's this next fight. Likely it's either going to be an ult dump or just 1 used at the start to clean up.
Yeah, we'll
Still
see what that
seen
one
a
is.
big blade from Mecha this map.
Yep, there's the orbital ray from Midnight. And the blade from Mecha. Catches Index. This Viper hits the pulse bomb. Patriots are all over ODU on this 3rd point.
Yeah,
We'll
now
start
the
capping.
Orbital Ray Blade is definitely something to fear, and is definitely going to work out for the Patriots there. ODU to respond will just sit on their ults, and I do think that's the best chance. I mean, that's a lot of healing, a lot of damage coming out. Probably not going to win that fight, just going to the next one and so much more. Hopefully only have to use 1, maybe the Kitsune Rush or the Blizzard. It should be plenty to try and win the point. And have more ults going to this next one with.
There's that Kitsune Rush from Salty. Cryo does have that Rampage, now using it. Gonna afflict some of the members of ODU. Oh, and Adelot will burn theirs as well, but unable to find much. ODU will be sent back to spawn, having burnt some very crucial ults.
Yeah, now with 20% left on the point, ODU seeing victory slip out of their fingers here. All they gotta do is flip this and win 2 more points to win the championship, but Patriots is not giving it up that easy. And we're not gonna see a contest from ODU. That's pretty surprising, but that's gonna be our 4th map going in favor of Patriots, making the current score 3-1 in favor of ODU. We saw some great retaliation from Patriots you see in that game. Much better ult coordination, much better team coordination. And I think that, I mean, they're, like you said, they're showing some life. I think that they're going to have a real good chance of this next game going their way as well. I do think that before our next map, we are going to take a very short break.
Short break, yep.
And then we'll catch you guys in just a moment.
All right.
right?
And I believe we should be getting into our next map in just a minute or so. To reflect the Patriots, though, could be on this comeback now. We'll have to do a complete reverse sweep to win this. 3 maps in a row.
I mean, the only way to, if they do make it even more exciting, is if ODU had taken 2 points there, so it truly was a full reverse sweep, map included. But we'll see what Patriots are capable of. I mean, they are 9-0. I mean, they have fought ODU and beat them before. It doesn't mean they can't do it
Yeah,
again.
cannot count them out.
For sure. They were slipping a little bit on the start, but we can see them definitely building momentum each map. And I think we saw that map, it really tipped over in their favor and they were able to take it. I think it was a combination of playing together a little more as well as the old economy. We saw ODU trying to win, feels like a little more with gimmicks than it is team play, playing a lot more aggressive with the supports and everything compared to Patriots just weren't messing around. They said, yeah, we're going to peel. We're going to play much more aggressive, especially on a map like Sarabasa and a mode like Flashpoint. You can just play as a 5-man stack. You don't really need positioning on a control point if you just have the whole team there targeting one person.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think what it was for ODU is we saw the Junker Queen from Adelot start to bleed. We see them take damage now, getting killed a couple early times there on Suravasa. Usually was doing that to Cryo, but now having it done to Adelot maybe might start a kind of a composition swap from ODU going into our next map here, which I believe is an escort map. We might not see this Junker Queen come back out again right away, at least from ODU.
Yeah, I do think. I mean, we did see Adelot playing the Rhine and the, I believe, Winston, just making some interesting swaps, but I don't think we've seen Cryo off the Junker Queen. We're gonna be going to Shambali Monastery, which is a very movement, I'd say, oriented map. You need to a lot of different varying high ground, being able to attack that pretty well, but it also depends on where the teams are playing. Like if UC is on the defense, they're probably not gonna have the Junker Queen up on the high ground, so you don't necessarily need to go somebody like Diva or Winston that can play the dive. We'll see what they do though. I believe we're gonna see the team swaps. We're gonna see, I believe, ODU on the attack first.
Yep, I believe that's what that means. Which it looks like from our King's Row, ODU is definitely comfortable on that attacking role. Shouldn't be anything they're not too unfamiliar with.
Yeah, for sure. We're gonna see just what I believe it is ODU actually on the attack first. So we're gonna see what they can run, if they will run a more aggressive dive. I mean, I think Ramatra is usually a fairly popular pick on this map. We haven't seen too much Shambali. We haven't had too many map 5s, if any. But yeah, we're really gonna see the Ramatra pick. Salty on the Mercy. You know, I'm not gonna comment on ODU yet. They are in the attack spawn. They can switch, but looking at Patriots, we're going to see the Echo going to be very good for playing around these rooftops, playing pretty aggressive, and being able to just kind of dip in and out of line of sight. But we're going to see Wetsuit possibly on the Pharah to match it with no hit scan from Patriots other than Midnight, who I'm not going to cut out. We've seen the supports do a lot of work on both sides here.
Yeah, we have the support doing some work there. A quick dance off. I think the Mercy might have taken that, honestly. Hitting it just a little bit better than the Pharah.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a tough battle.
A little bit of better moves.
I see Wetsuit already pressuring the right side as Patriots are just trying to identify who they're playing into. Index on the Ana. playing around, playing the
Ooh, gonna try
DPS,
to
playing the Widowmaker.
take mist out of the sky potentially. Adelot finding that first pick onto Mecha. This Viper though with a pick onto the support for ODU. Seems to be just a little better. As ODU's kind of holding off for just a minute. Maybe waiting for that respawn to come up. Now going to start aggressing with the Ramatra. Ooh, Mecha taking the sleep, I believe, for Cryo. I'm not sure that was intended for Mecha, but does fall to it.
Yeah, that's a very unfortunate sleep, followed up by the anti. And it's looking real tough for UC right now. I mean, ODU has a lot of pressure, just kind of running them down. Gonna fall back just a little bit here, though. As we see Patriots get their ground, see if Junker can make some ults, but I think the pressure Soup is putting on the backline is just a lot. We're gonna hopefully see Miss Viper being able to answer that.
Yeah, we have that Echo swapping to the Ramatra, getting some kills with it as well. Annihilation comes out, gonna be running the ODU back as far as they can.
Oh, the reload on
trying
Mecha.
to come through. Yeah, Mecha just
Barely.
not having enough shurikens.
Yeah, barely finding Salty and just doesn't make it happen. I believe this next fight we're gonna see a lot of ults coming through though. I mean, we're gonna have all 4 support ults as well as 2 tank ults and a blizzard coming up soon, as well as a.
You're definitely gonna be an
possible
alt dump here. Cryo does kill Salty, but Salty did get that orbital ray down. Patriots seem to be cleaning up a little bit.
Analot is way in the back line though, causing trouble.
Did find Anne, but to what extent? Or what? Gonna die now and just be a little staggered for this
For
next
sure.
fight.
And I mean, that's real sad to see because ODU committed both support ults to that, and Patriots all they had to respond with was the Rampage, and that's real tough because now you're going to be going into a Genji Blade as well as a possible, I mean, support ults as well, just not much to answer with. The Annihilation and Blizzard will be something good to snap back with, but I think it'll just come down to which ultimates and picks happen first. But we're seeing
100%.
Patriots hold really well on this corner.
Oh, there's the Annihilation that came out first. Immediately responded to by the Orbital Ray rally from Anne and Midnight. Couple picks from both ways. Looking like this annihilating Ramatra was about to fall, but not now. Miss Viper swapping
versus the Sombra.
soldier.
15
on
seconds
both
left on the
sides.
clock.
Oh yeah, 15 seconds left. ODU's gonna have to make this push count. If not cap it, at least get it further as far as they can. Patriots doing a stellar job on this defense so far.
I mean, Adelot is
having
just
to block.
taking so much
Yeah,
damage
so
and just
much
eating
damage.
all of the heals.
Being kept up by the supports for ODU from ODU.
I don't think we see anybody
Still not dead
finding
yet.
anybody getting hit by that cryo ult.
No, that looked to be an empty rampage, which is very unfortunate. Nano Boost does come out to Adelot. ODU still fighting for this point. Adelot back up to another Annihilation. Gonna pop it immediately, I would presume. There it comes out, a
just trying
second
to stay
Annihilation.
alive. But he'll
Unfortunately falls though.
and Index is unable to make it to the point, and I mean that's going to be a 91 meter, just call it a first point contest there from Patriots. You see really good contest from them, being able to hold down that corner, let up just a little bit at the start, but I do think that ODU really struggled to get through the door, And I'm gonna kind of, I really don't know what did it for them. I think that the Pharah or the Echo put a lot of pressure on the side. The Pharah swap. I mean, I think the Pharah kind of loses the Pharah Echo 1v1. So you see the swap to the soldier as well, and then from there you're not getting as much pressure on the back line, and that's going to leave the back line to keep Cryo up, which is just going to put a lot more damage on Adelot
Mm-hmm.
um, on the Ramatra, and that's what we saw. I mean, it feels like almost every time we were seeing Adelot, it was just holding the right click, keeping that
That
block up,
block.
and both
Yeah.
supports just pumping him through full of heals.
Good for the
Very,
supports. They get their ults pretty quick, but man, you can't get much pressure down when you're just blocking a lot.
yeah, definitely. I
That's
do think
unfortunate.
if we did possibly see a Junker Queen or maybe just a little more grouped up dive on the supports, something, it could have gone a bit better. And we did see that attempt. We did see Adelot all the way in the back, but it's hard when the rest of the team isn't there.
Yeah, we do have Patriots push now. ODU on that high ground, back on that Junker Queen.
We're
See
seeing
what they can do.
We're seeing Soup starting on the soldier, which is going to be hopefully putting some pressure on Viper. Echo's taking a lot of damage.
Yeah, that high ground is being pressured by the Patriots. Miss Viper does find Wet Stoop first. Another really great opening pick. That man advantage will go far here.
Yeah, we're going to have to see ODU supports and the rest of the team just fall back, but Patriots are not going to let that happen. They're going to keep the pressure up, keep making that space, and that Echo is going to make it real hard to keep forward, especially for Junker Queen when your supports are getting distracted.
Yeah, ODU's giving space here, but they don't have space to give, especially with their tank falling. Patriots might just win this game.
I mean, that Echo Genji is just so hard to keep up with when they're on your back line. It's so hard to keep the tank up, which is the only thing keeping the team back. So that's kind of why we see ODU fall so quick there.
Barely a touch from ODU.
1 meter left.
Goes poorly as Patriots just clean up everyone and everything. Echo swapping to the Junker Queen as well. What's better
But
than
they're
one
gonna
Junker
rampage
Queen is two?
off the point.
Very
That's
unfortunately.
so unfortunate for ODU. But that's gonna bring the score now to 2-3, still in favor of ODU, with the possibility of a reverse sweep for the Grand Championship. Taking a nap here for the play of the game.
A quick nap never hurt anyone. Patriots definitely making this a grand finals. You'd not want to miss. 3-2 potential on track for a reverse sweep. Map 5.
Yeah, map 5, I believe the mode is... I'm not sure. Are we going back to a control?
I believe after
We can get a quick check on that, but we won't know
we
the
can.
we won't know the map specifically until the teams are ready. Their teams did call for a quick 5-minute break, so we will I guess be back in a few minutes here.
All right, we are back, about to get into this map 5 now, or map 6 now. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I
We
mean,
see UC Patriots now down only just one game, turning that -3 into just -1. Really great stuff from them, fighting their way through.
yeah,
Gonna see if they can do it on Hanaoka now.
this is a very exciting game here. We haven't had a map 6 other than I believe it was 2 weeks ago. Or 3 weeks ago before Thanksgiving we had the I believe it was Division A Grand Finals or maybe Titans or I think it was Titans semifinals. We had a map
Hmm.
6 here and it was on Clash. So this is our second Clash we're seeing and I don't know. The last one we saw was very high octane. I think it was one of the longest maps we had. I think it was like 16 minutes or so. Very long map, constant overtime, but that was with two very good Doomfist players. So with the Junker Queen, I don't know if we'll have as much contest. We did see Index on the Lucio though, and never doubted contesting Lucio. So
No, especially not from Index. We've seen what they've been capable of this entire game so far.
for sure. So I mean, if there's a time to get hyped, it's right now. These are it's really coming down to the wire. This map is what's going to decide whether or not Patriots even I guess not necessarily, but this will decide if they have the chance for the reverse sweep. Next map, if there is one, is what will determine it. But ODU battling for everything here. They're Patriots, I mean they're undefeated. ODU wants to get their revenge. They're 7-1, and their one loss is against UC here. So big games here going on for the grand finals, and I'm here to see it. I'm glad everybody's here to see it. Looking at the team comps, pretty default, but we're gonna see Soup back on the venture. We've been seeing that in a map or two here. Worked well on those maps, so I think that might be the reason we're seeing it. Salty on the Curacao as well.
No, and I do like the venture pick on Hanaoka. It's
Says
a couple
the venture
different
player.
ways you could go. Of course, man. Yeah, of course. You know, it can just work here. It works well. I'm sure Wet Soup will not find too much trouble getting
Perfect
it to
Maywall.
work. Yeah, very good Maywall. Mecha having to be careful here, playing by that edge. ODU on this high ground, looking to just put some pressure on the Patriots here. Adelot falling down on the point, starting this cap. Suzu having to come out. Midnight finding Wet Soup, unfortunately. Patriots do start taking this though.
Very back and forth still, though. Very confusing on who's winning what. Seen Index possibly fall to Mecha. Mecha fall to Salty. Just constant trades. Points still not capped
Wet
by either
Soup's
side.
back now.
It looks
And
like it's
now
gonna
ODU seems to be running away with it.
possibly fall in control of ODU, but I wouldn't be surprised if we see a contest.
Saw Index with that pretty swift rollout right back to point. Kitsune Rush gonna come out from the side of ODU. I believe we saw Miss Viper using the Echo Ult on Venture, getting that tectonic shock. Unable to find much though. Picks on point. Patriots seem to be winning.
Yeah, and that's going to flip the point again. Back to UC. First point still. Remember that this mode has no timer. They could just flip this back and forth all night. But I don't know if we'll see a contest. Now it looks like they're going to regroup, just hold this next fight with the Tectonic Shock, Blizzard, and Beat. Almost ready to go, but Patriots, I mean, their ults are ready to go. 4 of them up. Rally. I wouldn't be surprised if Patriots are able to roll this point, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah, we do have a couple ults for either team now. Definitely going to see him come out. Dragon Blade from Mecha looking to do some work. Cryo, though, finding 2 with the knife.
that Gracie is dangerous in that Juno ult.
Does good
Let's
work.
see if
A lot of bleeding.
ODU is going to contest this. Looks like they're going to attempt it. They do have the Blizzard and the Shock. And that's going to leave Patriots just to fall back. You know it's scary. And see if they can come back here with the ults.
Yeah, it was a great rampage from Cryo, but does fall the wetsuit rally now.
Looking
From
at ODU,
Am.
they're all pretty low.
It's looking like Patriots are going to start capping this. But ODU's not going to let them have it for free. This Viper swapping to that Junker Queen. Trying to build an ult. Not able to. Does get taken out by Salty. Points still up. Oh! Rampage hitting both supports. And does fall. Cryo now on the hit list. ODU
Oh.
finding the picks they need.
Yeah, great pull with the Gracie. Matalot just barely pulling Viper there back into vision for the early pick. Hopefully giving a slight advantage on this next point in order to retake it. And I don't want to call it too soon, but I think this map might be a long one. Like I said, these teams are very back and forth on these points. I think that this is going to be a very, very exciting map to watch. Soup
Yeah, we saw
does
Wet
get
Soup
two.
there. Two great picks.
I've seen ODU play really aggressive here, almost to the next point. They don't remember where they got a cap. Gonna have the
Yeah,
Tectonic
point
too.
unlockable now.
Melissa Blade.
Patriots pushing back. With that orbital ray, they're really going to push. Dragon Blade as well. Cryo finding 2. Make it 3. As Patriots will potentially just take back this middle point again.
Yeah, I mean the Blade and the Orbital Ray is a lot of damage. They're gonna retake it with not too much contest from ODU. Maybe got a little too antsy there, pushing up a little too far. And from there, as you're falling back, that's gonna give them a lot of pressure to work with. For this next point, we're gonna see old favor in favor of ODU. Replication
Iconic shot
online.
from Wet Soup, unable to find much. Miss Viper switches into that Junker Queen. It's taken out immediately by Salty though. Ult's not finding much. Cryo does find X-Blast though. 2 fall for the side of ODU. Patriots seem to be in favor here, popping the rally. Patriots will take this. Putting them up 3-1 now.
That's going to allow them to hopefully push further into ODU spawn, unless we're going to see a contest, but it's not looking like it. Yes, that's
Now we have seen teams, just hold this point, just let them cap that one, and then just hold this point, and that's maybe
It's an idea,
not.
but especially right here where you only need 66% of it. I mean, why not go for it? Especially when, even if you're losing the point, going up, just forcing out ODU's ults in order to try and win it is what you want to do.
Very true, and that's exactly what it looks like now. Salty popping that Kitsune rush.
Yeah, Cryo just
Patriots.
falling with the ult. And now Patriots are
saving
going to be able to... Now Patriots are going to be able to hold this next point with close to 4 ults. And, I mean, ODU is at 1 and the other 4 are just pretty low. So I don't know if that beat is going to be able to hold off against the 4, but I do think that it's going to be very tough for ODU to keep their momentum going here.
Yeah, and that beat might wait for Cryo's ultimate as well. So we might not see that come out right away. Now this point's going to be unlocking in just a couple seconds here.
Yeah, and the
Patriots
point is
do need just
already
2 more left.
for UC.
ODU.
Not too
gonna
much
let it go
contest.
Too far. Gonna start that contest.
Lucio copy.
Ooh. And this Viper taking up that Lucio. ODU falling critically low. Cleanup crew now comes through. Patriots will win
Yeah, and
that
I mean,
point yet again. Now just one
that's
more away.
real unfortunate, and again to be expected there. They only needed to use 2, now they have 3 for the next one, and I wouldn't be surprised if they do the same thing. Don't even fight for this point, just make ODU waste theirs, and then just win the next fight. We're seeing Viper fall early. That wasn't the necessary game-changing ult though that was going to be used this next fight. We're seeing the switch to the Cassidy from Soup off of the Venture might put a lot more pressure onto Viper as well as Mecha. That Magnate is really going to hinder the Genji dash and hopefully slow down the escape. But it looks like they're going to do
100%.
exactly that, where they are going to
Just let them cap that,
yeah, just let them cap it. But going in, ODU is going to have much more ults than they did last time on this. Soup will
Soup
fall
gets
early.
singled out though. A Blizzard from X-Blast seems to fall
Oh, that's
short.
low.
No one gets caught in it. Kitsune Rush from Salty.
It looks like UC is
He's
pretty
pushing
smart.
up.
They're just going to back up from the Kitsune Rush
Yeah.
and let it run out.
Orbital Ray and Rally from the side of Patriots now. Both supports up and in good standings. As ODU is starting to fall low. It seems like Patriots has withered them away.
But Soup, though, with the pick, we're seeing ODU make a little more pressure here. Cryo gets the pick onto Index. Fight's not over, but they're still fighting. Cryo gets a second. Ults, and that's going to get him back up to full, and Patriots are back in it, keeping this point alive.
Just like that. Great stuff from Cryo. ODU now going to be held off, but they need to touch this. This is their last point if they lose this.
There's nobody
And
to
that's
touch.
it.
And that's it. That's
Patriots.
going to be UC now in the running for the reverse sweep.
Yeah,
With the,
3-3 now. This will be the last map.
I believe this is probably going to be Cryo at the end here with the 3K. No, it wasn't though, but we did see Cryo with some incredible rampages here.
that
Look at that
ult.
anti. 3 of them.
Beautiful ult.
I mean, just truly incredible plays from UC here. ODU just struggling to stay on top. We're going to see...
Yeah, we see Patriots just completely flip what ODU was doing to them. Completely flip it, and now they're just taking all the space they need, getting the kills as soon as they need them. We saw Miss Viper again, just fragging out, doing exactly what you want your DPS to do in that situation. And I believe we're just figuring out which map we will be going into, and we will have it.
Yeah, we're going
This
back
next
to
map.
back to control. We're banning Busan. And then, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, Lijiang is usually the most picked, correct?
Usually, yes.
They
I
did
believe
pick
so.
the Ilios here, though, and that was in
They
favor of
did.
ODU. I'm not sure which team has the pick here, but I wouldn't be surprised if we're going to Lijiang. The first map in almost every single one of our matches, and I believe it might be our last.
Oh wait, potentially it could be Nepal though.
Ooh, I don't think have we even seen
I don't know
Nepal?
if we've seen a Nepal. Yeah, no, this would be completely foreign to us. I'm not sure if we have seen a game go all the way the distance.
No, we definitely haven't, especially not a reverse sweep to this extent.
UC is absolutely taking ODU there right now.
It looks like the team's making a last minute switch to Lijiang.
Lijiang
Definitely
Towers.
cinematic. There we go.
Cinematic,
now,
poetic, and just
one
a
reason
great
I'm
way to end this series.
definitely looking forward to this because almost every Lijiang map started the stream kind of low energy, learning the teams. But now we are probably going to get one of the most high-octane Lijiang matches that we've seen in this entire series.
Absolutely. I mean, both of these teams have gone through weeks and weeks of fierce competition and amazing matches, and we finally arrived at the top of the mountain for one of these teams that claim the name of champion, and it's all
For
going to come
sure.
down to Lijiang Tower.
And again, it's not just a matter of who's the champion. This is a matter of revenge and just namesake. I mean, UC is battling to stay undefeated and win the championship, as well as going
Mm,
full reverse sweep for the championship. And ODU is fighting to take back their loss from UC for the championship. This truly is a
for this
cinematic match.
champion.
I swear, I pray that it goes to a third point on this. Just make it as cinematic as possible. Don't make it a one-way
Yeah.
sweep. Don't let any team get spawn camped. I want
I don't
a
think
battle
either
for
team's
the
about to let us
ages
do
at
that.
this point.
We
Oh,
are
yeah,
locked
please.
in. Both
Please don't
teams
disappoint. Seeing
have
Viper's still
taken
on
it
the
the
Echo.
distance.
And I think that, I mean,
Mm.
that's been a constant factor in each of these. Other than Cryo getting some insane value on the Junker Queen, we have seen the Echo swap, which has been making a big change. We're going to see Soup on the Pharah as well. X-Blast switching off the Mei for the first time on the Cassidy. So we're seeing some big swaps here with Index falling early to Mecha. And maybe the
Yeah,
rest
Mecha-
of UC following. Looking low.
Great stuff from Mecha. And one final time this point will unlock in this series. Mecha cleaning house. Ready to take it for the Patriots. Start the cap.
And that's first point, pretty subtle here. Gonna play on the bridge, and it looks like we're gonna see ODU. Not sure which side they're going on. They're gonna go for the bridge side. Try and play around this corner. It's gonna be hard into the Brig. Brig's playing kind of far back though. They're getting the ping on her. Cryo getting the kill on it.
Yeah, that's a perfectly placed kill.
Yeah, that's gonna
Had a
really
lot
relieve the
finding
pressure on
run
this
down.
Viper.
Fight's not over yet. Supports are down. Mecha gets
Oh.
booped by Index. No double jump, no dash, no Genji. Back to the spawn room.
And unfortunately, that's not gonna get too much value as they do need to fall back. A Moira swap. I do think this is also a series first. I don't think we've seen a Moira pick.
I don't think so.
Although
You
the
see Salty pulling it out here. Wet Soup gonna use that Pharaoh blast to get that get Cryo out of position.
Yeah, it
ODU
feels like-
trying to take some point now.
Cryo's getting the picks.
Stop dead in their tracks though. By Cryo and Midnight. Fight now in
Oh,
this
huge
side
anti.
room.
Adelot's committing
the-
with that ult. 80%,
I
but he's gonna
couldn't believe I
fall.
was into the rampage there.
Yeah,
But it
I mean, they
looked like it worked, but it might not have actually.
I mean, the points
As we
on
see
their favor
Patriots
yet.
starting to turn it.
Looking at ults, we're gonna have Mirage coming out with the orbital ray following suit, as well as the blade, finding two. Followed up by
Yeah, while
Index's
being
beat.
kept alive. Both teams
Well as the
relying
rally.
on their supports. Yeah, and Ann with the rally as well. Gonna play some body block. Patriots 99% will start Lijiang off. Commanding lead.
Yeah, I
Not
mean that's
letting
gonna be
ODU even set
Patriots
point.
with a 100% to 0 there
Yeah.
on that first point. That is a very, very tough fight. I think ODU has just lost too many maps in a row here. They really need to look at what's going wrong and fix it. It feels like they just can't find an issue to this Echo and Junker Queen. I think the Echo is just putting so much pressure on the backline, causing so much of a distraction, which is just allowing Cryo to be so aggressive on point.
I completely agree, and we saw Miss Viper on the other maps doing really good stuff on that DPS role. And as you can see here, just nothing different at all. UC Patriots now up 1-0. This is match point, series point on the side of UC Patriots.
Yeah, ODU is looking desperate, making a lot of swaps. Soup on the cast, Blast on the Tracer, as well as the double support swap. Just trying to match the energy, trying to match the aggression. And it's working out for them as they get Viper.
Yeah, Adelot took a leap of faith into the back line of Patriots there. Able to find one, and now ODU starts capping this point. More percentage now than they did on that last map, that last round.
For sure, I think the Brig Juno swap is going to give Adelot a lot more room to play aggressive, but Mecha's causing a lot of damage here getting Soup, and that's going to be a lot of damage off of Cryo, which is going to allow them to just run on the point here and execute.
Yeah, we see Patriots. It seems just to be an execution thing. They just seem to be executing it just a little bit better than ODU is right now. And with the DPS, it seems almost consistently finding that opening first pick onto one of the members of ODU. It seems to always be in Patriots' favor.
For sure. I mean, this is Cryo's getting an early pick onto Index, as well as Mecha, and they just getting really early kills, allowing ODU to just reset real quick. Patriots still holding it, matching the percentage now. I mean, I won't lie, I'm glad I'm missing the Game Awards for this. This is some high octane gameplay here.
Absolutely, wouldn't want to miss this. This is some invigorating gameplay we're seeing here.
Possible match and rampages coming out.
Oh, there it is. Adelot starting it off. I believe only hitting Cryo, but that was enough for Cryo to fall with that ult. Not
Are they
using
gonna have
rampage.
to commit anymore? No, they're not gonna try and hold it with their tank on. They're just gonna fall back. But you know what? That's what UC is so good with. They said, you know what? We're 30% up. They took us at we took them at 30. We can do it again. We're gonna sit on all of these ults, and now it's gonna be a 4. We're gonna have 8 ultimates up from both sides. And I'm really not sure who to place it in favor of. It's just
fucking
Viper dives at the supports. That's crazy.
Now that is something. Say, if I'm going, you're coming with me.
Hey, you know what?
I want that speed ring back from spawn, damn it.
It's a quicker reset. It's a quicker reset.
Very true. Patriots were in charge, but not for much longer. ODU seems to be stepping up their game.
Well, yeah, but they're just going to walk on point here.
With the orbital raise. Yeah, there they are. Patriots overwhelming ODU.
I think that was about a 4-second take on the point between the ults going down and ODU falling. I don't even know what happened. I mean, looking at the ults, we see Junker Queen, the Blade, and Orbital Ray went down. Both support ults were used from ODU, which is really rough because they're not going to have a lot to come back with here. They're going to have to, I mean, 80%. They're going to need to get an early pick and play with it, but the rally is going to be so hard to push into. I wouldn't be surprised if we see Wet Soup with a attempt at the Blade and then get canceled by the rally, just like that.
There it goes. We need to see Adelot build this rampage. Unable to, falling critically low.
99% for the grand finals. We're going to see ODU making their goddamn best attempt at the point with the Venture contest attempting, but that is going to be a 4-map reverse sweep from UC Patriots for the victory for the Grand Championship Finals. Great game from both teams. That was just, I mean, wow. I'm going to just real quick place the MVP on Cryo. I think that Junker Queen carried these fights. Huge rampages, instant wipeout on both support ults here. Just turning the tides on every single point on the Junker Queen.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. I mean, Cryo was doing incredible work on that tank role. Everything you'd want your tank to do. A grand finals, a champion worthy tank. Beautifully played from the Patriots, taking ODU to the absolute distance for a full reverse sweep is beautiful work.
Yeah, I mean, we saw ODU put a lot of effort in at the start. We did know that they were fighting for this. And I think that Patriots just they made their swaps. They found what worked, and then they just held that momentum going through. And we saw that from ODU that they just weren't able to find a response. You saw them desperately trying to make swaps. I mean, you're seeing swaps like Moira, you're seeing swaps like Cassidy just trying to do everything you can to try and shut down what you think is working. But I think UC, it was more than just the hero swaps. It was the team play. It was the Junker Queen as well as the Echo, and just being able to play in the back line and the distraction you're able to make is just a big game changer that ODU just really struggled to answer to.
Yeah, and you touched briefly on it, the DPS as well from the side of uh UC there doing great work as well. I've mentioned it plenty of times throughout the stream tonight that a lot of those opening picks were going the side of UC there. And that man advantage is always hard to fight into, whether it be your tank, your DPS, or your support. Being one up on the enemies is just huge. So, really great stuff from UC and the Patriots. Both teams played very well tonight. GG to both teams, but we do see UC taking it away there.
Yeah, and that is going to be, I believe now, this is the third week I'm saying this. I do believe that is the last ECAC stream for this season. I'm not sure.
Hmm.
I could see you guys next week on almost Christmas, but I mean, I'm all for it. I love seeing these teams play. It was very high octane. Thank you to all the viewers and the chatters who are building up hype in the chat and watching and coming out watching the teams
Absolutely.
really give it their all.
None of
So
this is possible without you guys.
yeah, thank you guys. I've been Althea, joined by Inferno and our observer Beldia. I'm hoping to see you guys uh next season as
Next
well
year,
for
next season,
yeah,
yes.
next year. See you guys next year as well. Have a happy holidays, and I hope everybody has a fantastic night. Any final words from you, Inferno?
No, pretty much same thing. Hope to see everyone out again next season. It's been a great season, this one. Grand finals, every division, awesome games. Thank you to all the players. Thank you to all the staff